How's it going, everybody's Big Smootho TV and Sociopath Batman once again. And today we wanted to talk to you guys about our anime that's we're currently watching at the moment. In fact, we wanted to go a little bit deeper in it and ask you which one do you think is the best one? And out of the ones we're talking about, it's going to be Moonlit Fantasy, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, 5 Second Battle, One Piece, and how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom. Now, me personally, if I want to just go ahead and start this off really quick, those anime there, those are particularly my favorite right now for this current season. They're up there on the episodes around 10 episodes or whatever. So you kind of get a good gist of what the story is. So out of the ones I listed, I'll go ahead and list it again. Moonlit Fantasy, which is also Tsukimichi. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, 5 Second Battle, One Piece, and How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom. Now, I'm gonna go out and say right now, to me personally, Moonlit Fantasy is my favorite. Matter of fact, I just got done watching the episode of the current episode today, and left us on a cliffhanger, man. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil anything. I just want to go ahead and tell you what this anime here is about. This anime is about this boy who ends up meeting the god, right? And he realized his parents had a contract with the goddess to go to their world because the parents were supposed to be beautiful beings. But to him, sadly, the goddess didn't think that he looked the part of being beautiful. Therefore, she dumped him at the edge of the world, and he had to literally survive from there, and it goes from there. So that's why I think the Moonlight Fantasy is the one for me. Tsukimichi, the Japanese name for it. Sociopath Batman, which one out of the list do you think is the best anime that's airing right now?
Well, see, for me, of all those animes, because I am newer into the anime game, I guess you could say,
Okay.
the one that I'm actually more familiar with that I actually am currently watching is One Piece. The
Hmm.
other ones are ones that are currently added to my list to introduce me into to branch me out off of what I'm normally used to watching.
Hmm.
So for me, One Piece is the one that is holding strong because that is the one that I can definitely say that I have seen quite a bit of to actually give my honest opinion of. And don't say, I mean, from the moment I start watching to currently, I mean, I have taken very little breaks in between. It has been the one that has stuck out. I mean, as you've seen in my background, I am a very big One Piece
Yeah,
person.
I
And
see
so,
you have Mihawk. I see you have Luffy, Sanji. I see you have Zoro. Now, going off on the limb here, man. A lot of people are not liking One Piece, and we talked about that the other day. And you still say that's the show that you're going to ride with. Now, I want you to answer this question: what makes you like One Piece over these potential other shows? Like you said, you haven't seen them, but what makes you like just One Piece, like by itself?
well, I don't want to say that I am a show and jump fanboy that I'm just gonna ride that one. I mean, I do watch a lot of show and jump uh animes, but the thing is it's not so much the fighting itself, it is the characters, it is the fact that
Okay, you
uh,
said the characters. Which character? Which character of One Piece is your favorite?
well,
Because you
see,
chose that one.
the the one character that stood out, immediately from the get-go was Roronoa Zoro. He just the three sword style to me, you know the moment you realize that he uses this, you know this style that I've never seen before. I mean, it seems so far-fetched, but the moment you see it and the moment he pulls it off, you're just like, okay, yeah, that worked. I immediately was just like, didn't question it anymore. It was like, hey, this is just something that takes place, and yeah, that I'm gonna go with it. And the fact that
Okay,
that
so if
first,
someone walked up to you right now, right, and they asked you who would win a battle, Would it be Ichigo or Zoro? Which one would you pick, knowing the feats of both of these characters?
Well, see, that would be the thing is that I feel like so far from what I've seen, uh, with the exception of Mihawk, Zoro basically just goes through the majority of people that he fights, but he's also going through mostly mortal people. Uh, Ichigo has abilities to that. Do I believe that uh, he would have a strong fight against Ichigo? Yeah, I don't know in that fight simply because of the aspects there, because there's the different, because of the fact that you have Ichigo who has these abilities in this format. I don't know if that would actually give him the upper hand in this situation, in the same way that someone with uh, a devil fruit would have an advantage over him in that way. I mean, you
So
put
who would win? Because I
I
hear you. You sounds like you're trying to avoid the question because you don't want
I
to pick
do
either
want
or.
to
But
well
we want
see
to
that
answer.
thing
Which one?
because it just seems like it's an unfair advantage in one situation. It's not at the or at least
It's
in
not
my
about
mind.
fair. It's not
But
about
at the
fair.
same
It's
time,
who is who's the
Dora has
strongest.
this ability to, and I still don't understand it. He has the ability to basically take damage like no one's business. Like basically, he should be dead 10 times over, and
So
he
what,
just.
what I'm hearing is Ichigo
But
can defeat Zoro. Is that what I'm hearing?
from what I've seen so far, I feel like that's the way. Yeah, it just seems like
So
he
you
should.
think Ichigo will beat Zoro without a
Yeah,
doubt, or
just
Zoro can beat
simply
Ichigo?
because
Which
of the
one? Which
fact that
one?
he
Which way are
has
we going?
the powers, yeah, because he has the powers on his side. I feel like if it
Well, I
wasn't.
mean, technically Zoro has demon powers.
Well, see, the thing is, I don't know that much that far into it. From what I've seen, Zoro's a really great fighter, but he still hasn't reached that aspect that I know he has. He hasn't trained with Mihawk, which I believe it's supposed to happen at some point, which is supposed to give him, that next power up, so to say. So uh, Zoro that I know right now, I don't think he would
Hmm.
have a chance against Ichigo. But Zoro later on, from what I've heard, Zoro later on is just next level. So I mean, if I'm watching One Piece currently, if I know where he's at currently, he might be able to stand up to Ichigo. But right now, where I'm at, I don't know if he would if he could hold it, completely hold. I feel he hold his game for pretty long, but I don't think he would be come out the victor in that one right now where I'm at.
I can respect that decision. I mean, it's easy for Ichigo because, like you said, the power comparison. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and move on to the next enemy. You know, the ones that didn't win for me. Uh, that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Right now, this one started off a little bit slow for me. The first season of it started off a little bit slow for me, and I didn't know where it was going. But by the time I was like 6 episodes in, I was already invested in that one. Right now, this is the one that didn't win for me, but I wanted to elaborate on my experiences with it. Right. So, with that being said, 6 episodes in, you get what a Shonen Jump anime watcher would want to see, from different fight scenes, from different things, but also from a humble standpoint. You know, the anime ended up being great. Now, season 2 drops, and it's just all out war strategies. Everything is being set up there, and in no way possible that this season is not going to be a 9 out of 5 to me. Right now, just the complexity and everything and how it's set up at the moment, 9 out of 5. Now, again, this one didn't win for me. I'm gonna say it again just in case there's some newer viewers in here. My favorite one for this current season is Suki Michi, also known as Moonlit Fantasy. You know, that it's just got done watching the episode right now again, and it was great. The next one that's on the list is 5 Second Battle. Jerry, I was telling you about that one,
Yeah,
a couple days ago,
I believe your
and
son was talking about that one also in a current video I remember watching of you guys. he
Hmm.
mentioned that one.
Yeah. So that one right there is pretty. It's pretty cool. It's pretty like if you guys never heard of it and you just wanted to watch something. 5 Second Battles is about this boy. He was very good in this video game. They call him Key. An accident happened. We don't know if these people are dead or not. Right. So they kind of get transported to some place unbeknownst. I don't know where they went, but they're given powers, but they don't supposed to let anyone know their powers for their own survival. They use these powers to combat each other. And just think about it going into a battle blindly. You're going in, you squaring up with somebody, you ready, and next day they hit you with a power you never knew. You understand what I'm saying? So that's basically what 5 Second Battle has going for it. Pretty good anime, but for me, I'm gonna have to rate that at an 8 right now because it's a little over here, it's a little over there. It's just going everywhere for me. The next one we're gonna have on here is called a realist hero. How a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom. Now, this is an intellectual anime. So automatically I'm gonna be a biased on that one, and for me, that's going to get a 7 off rip just for being an intellectual anime. Now, if I explain to you everything else above that, what it does, the tactics, the guerrilla war tactics, actually, the way that it explains how roads are built and their purposes and things like that, while he's trying to literally rebuild this kingdom, it's going to jump up there to a 9 for sure. And that's just because I'm biased for intellectual anime. Uh, I know you haven't seen it yet, Sociopath Batman. I know you haven't seen it yet, but based off some of the enemies that I was talking about, how do you feel about them?
The one that did seem to that I definitely want to do check out is the My Life as a Slime one you had mentioned with
Reincarnated as a slime. Okay, okay.
I mispronounced that one. But it did sound like it would be at least interesting enough to look into to try to see where it goes. The Moonlight Fantasy one, I believe you had spoken on that one. Definitely, I want to be able to check out. It seems like it would be able to pique on my attention. And then the one you mentioned on with the intellectual thing. I'd like to be able to see them because I feel like a lot of the ones I have watched they have that goofy that's goof it's it's either goofy or it's a bit of fighting, so to have
Yeah.
to have another aspect added into the anime, I think that would be really nice because I have only watched a few animes that have kind of stuck to a one kind of mood, and instead of being about goofballness or about the fighting, it's been more about the psychological intensity of what's going on in these people's lives and stuff. So I think that would
Hmm.
be good for me, something that, like I said, for me to branch off and experience something new. So each of them, from what you had spoken on, I definitely grabbed my. But yeah, I definitely would say that I'm gonna look into the reincarnation one and then the moonlight one for sure at least tonight before I end my night. So
Yeah, I mean, those are the enemy that we're feeling for the season right now. Maybe you all who are watching the chat right now have one that you think that's currently the best. Feel free to write in the chat on which one do you think.
one
If it's not Moonlit Fantasy, you're wrong. But hey, look, we can debate it.
the one that I've actually heard actually a few people have brought up as of recently is Odd Taxi.
It's which one?
Odd Taxi. Apparently,
Taxi.
yeah.
It's
Apparently that
ongoing right
one.
now.
Yeah, I believe it just started recently. I believe it's actually on Crunchyroll. You can watch it. Um, but supposedly it's a bit humorous, but it's about this. I think he's a walrus. He's a walrus taxi driver, and he basically it's kind of like an anime uh taxi cab confessions type thing. I heard. I guess they said that the
Confessions. What kind of
um
confessions?
well, there's that show that was on. I don't know. It was like one of those HBOs over that was Taxi Cab Confessions, where it was literally people. It was a taxi cab driver who would have a camera and he would record the conversations that would go on in the back seat of drunk people, all the crazy stuff that would go on. So it's kind of a situation like that, supposedly from what I heard. But it's a little bit goofy. It's got some dry humor into it. But from what I've also heard, that from the stories that he gets from his customers, there seems to be a underlying story that this missing girl keeps popping up within all these
Mm.
people's stories. So it becomes, I think there's a deeper story behind it that, with all the stories he's getting from his passengers, there is a deeper story of someone who's gone missing, and I think
So
he
it's like a continuation. Like, let's say, for an example, one passenger comes in
yeah,
and tells them a part of the story. So when that passenger leaves, another one comes in, and the story continues on like that.
something like that. But I believe they don't even believe it. They don't even realize that they're all connected to each other. It's just they're all
Mm.
talking, and
Okay.
somehow this missing girl, I believe, is intertwined within all these people's lives or mentioned. But I haven't got a chance to actually check it out. I have just recently have heard a few people have talked about it, but it was something that did pique my attention, and just the idea of a little bit of the weirdness of people coming into your cab and talking
Yeah,
stuff, but
yeah.
then with the underlying, there's another second story that's behind there. It seems
I
like a
feel
really
like that right there would have some intensity to it because like think about it, you can't get the next part of the story unless the next person comes in. So to me, as a viewer, if I were to watch that one, I'll feel kind of weird. Like, can I please get the next part of the story? Don't give it to me bit by bit. I get, and I guess that's worse. That's why some people may like it. Now, I didn't put this one in the description of the anime we were talking about, but Stars is doing a great job right now.
just read about the premise of that thing because I've never actually watched it, but I've heard a lot of people talk about it, and I just read what the plot of what that is about, like what it's
Hmm.
kind of, and I was like, oh, okay, that is
Yeah,
that's
it's
interesting.
getting good and bad reviews. The bad reviews are saying these just adults, furries that
No,
and
I
they
mean
go over
that's
with
the way
jokes like
they
that.
that's the way they kind of sold it to is it's a fox that wants to have sex with a rabbit, but he's
Mm,
afraid he's gonna eat her, and
mm.
basically, I mean, that's kind of like how the story
That
goes.
sounds
And I was
like
like,
hey, that sounds
oh,
like some of the vampires stories we heard. Growing up, the vampire wants to be in love with a human, but I need to suck your blood as well.
yeah. So when I heard that, I was like, oh well, that was totally different than what I thought that show was about. So I was like, it seems interesting enough. It seems like it'd be something I would, maybe invest some time in to check out. I mean, just simply because it's different. I mean, it's not something I've ever watched before, but
Yeah,
the premise of I can see the idea behind it. Of this forbidden love. It's this thing of, hey, we are from two different worlds. I am a carnivore. You're
even with that in the
herbivore.
story though, like even with that as a story, because they chose to use CG for it,
Mhm.
it's going to have a lot of people. It's not going to give them a huge chance of going into it. Because I know some people, when Berserk was out, right? Berserk came out, and some people were just like, "Ah, I can't watch this, man. Why did they do CG on this?" Like, oh my god, I would love to watch it. I read this all the time, but we got CG over here, over there, over there, up there, down here. We don't want to see CG, And from the people, I don't know. I like to give things a chance. That's why I gave most of these newer animes we were talking about a chance on it. You know, even even some of the crazy things. You were saying about B stars.
What was it?
I was saying you were saying about B
Oh
stars. I
yeah.
didn't mean to
Well,
cut
no,
you off. It was just CG.
no, you were good. No, I mean, it was just the idea of this, the like I said, like the forbidden love, the idea of, hey, you have a carnivore and an herbivore, you know, there's this, I guess as you would say, the sexual attraction between them, but at the same time, he's like, hey, you're
You
looking
looking
like a snack
scrumptious,
both,
scrumptious delicious.
yeah, you're looking like a snack both metaphorically and physically, like I don't, like I'm about to eat you and eat you, like. But basically, yeah, I mean, it's just this idea of, uh, you know, it's an interesting premise. It'll definitely be something I'll have to check into. I know another one that I believe came up was darn the name of it. It's in my head and I keep forgetting it now. It's not.
Give me just the
I
phrase or
believe it
something about it.
started with like was that's I don't really know what it was about, but I know that people have been bringing that is the name of it that brought it up. I had seen it recently and I can't remember what it was. People keep mentioning it, and now I'm like drawing a blank on it. But it's been a name that I've seen pop up as of lately, like with a lot of people. But yeah, I'm drawing a blank on it right now. It's just when it comes to the names I'm familiar with, it's that's where it gets me with. I'm not really good at some of the Japanese names,
What
so
is
that's
it
where I get
about though?
thrown off.
Do you know what
Yeah,
it's about?
I'm not exactly sure. I've only had people say, "Hey, just mention the name," like, "Hey, this is a good anime," but no one's told me what it's
Is it
about.
ongoing right now?
I believe so. I
You
believe it
might
was
be
out.
saying Maid Dragon.
No, I believe it started with a K or something.
Okay,
Yeah,
and it's out right now.
yeah,
Are you
or
talking about Kobayashi Dragon Maid Summer?
no, I know Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid thing. I've heard about that one, and that's actually one that's on my list of ones to check out. But no, but yeah, it starts with a K, and I cannot remember or either H or K. Um, let's see, uh, like Kaizen.
Oh, Jujutsu Kaisen.
That's what it is. I've heard a lot of people mention that one, and I'm not sure what it's about.
All right, so that one right there already finished. You know, so it's not a newer one, but it is a newer. It's one of the most popular anime that just finished airing. Uh, let's just put it like this. I'll give you the premise of it. So Jujutsu Kaisen is about you have this boy. He's just a normal guy going to school. Some reason he's strong and can jump super high. I don't know. Maybe they ate a lot and had good genes, or maybe he was wearing good jeans and tennis shoes. I don't know. But the genes I'm talking about are inside his body. So one day these curses were released because they wanted to play around in school and things like that. And what you realize, wait, now curses are real. So these curses that are released started to go around consuming people, and one started consuming his friend. So when he looked at his friend, he was like, "Hey, I can't let this happen." In good anime fashion. You seen some of my skits, baby. We out here, good anime fashion. And he decides to fight it. But right when he was getting ready to fight it, the people who are used to fighting curses, they intervene and tell him to get back. But wait, the curse is too strong at this point. So the guy who came to help him could not help him, right? So what does he do? This because it was a finger that was cursed. What does he do? He hold that finger up above his mouth, it drops it in and swallows it. Now, to me, I had to ask the question. I said, "Hey, why this man swallow a finger? Like you could have did so many other things with it, but you decided to swallow it. So you did it." And right when that happened, the curse took over his body and became one of the legendary most known bad curses out there. But he was able to hold it down. He was able to stay conscious and take over that curse. And then it goes on from there, like in true shonen style. Pretty good fight scenes, animation is pretty good. I actually did a skit with that in the background on there when he was like my friendo. It was like
Oh,
you
the my
watching Dub.
Nintendo.
Yeah, that one there. So Jujutsu Kaisen was a pretty good anime. Now, if we want to judge on other things, looks like we have Molo G2. You said One Piece is better. Hey, look, I'm not gonna hold you. If that's your favorite, go ahead. But for me, it's Moonlit Fantasy. Right now that's ongoing. I enjoy One Piece a lot. I'm not one of the people who are going to talk down on it without watching and be like, "Oh my god, so many episodes." I'm caught up to it. So, with that being said, I'm already invested into One Piece. But again, for me personally, it's going to be Moonlit Fantasy. Now, you and Sociopath Batman, y'all are on the same page for sure. Y'all riding that One Piece train, man.
No, nearly 200 episodes in, so
Hey, hey, you moving? That's 200 more than some people would do, but instead of calling it trash, that's all you hear. One Piece trash, Dragon Ball Z's trash, Naruto's trash. What do you like? Boruto, man, get up out of here, boy. Get
You and your boy
boy.
guys.
How you gonna say it's Boruto that's good? Man, get Boruto up out of here. Nah. Look, honestly, for Boruto though, I did give it a chance. I gave it 100 and some episodes, and it just wasn't my cup of tea. Maybe it did get better down the line, but I
If
don't know.
it's not getting better after 100 episodes, you're not doing it right.
Yeah. I mean, nah, because like just me making skits, sometimes I don't put anything good in the beginning. And people have to watch to the end to get the point or to where the good stuff is. And, sometimes just writing these things out, we can make mistakes with it. Yeah. But 100
The
some episodes
100
of
and
them.
something episodes
Yeah, that's
in,
what I was about to say. I try to give them a way out, but then I thought about it logically. 100 and some episodes? Whoa, that's.
if it was like 15 or 20, you have the training wheels on, you're trying to pedal and trying to get it going. 50 episodes, those training wheels need to start coming off.
Start coming
25
off for sure.
episodes, you better be riding that thing without the training wheels. And by 100, you better be like pulling a wheelie off and stuff. Like you better know how to ride that bike.
But see, the thing is, man, like everyone says, like the arguments towards that is like, I want to get into Boruto, but Naruto is what makes the show so good. You know, so a lot of people they just wouldn't understand or like want to rock with it because of that. But we ain't here to talk about Boruto, although it's ongoing. We're here to ask everyone what do they believe. You can leave them in the comments if you didn't get a chance to make this live. I see we had a couple people come in. Molo G2 plays. Appreciate you coming in here, leaving your comment. And hey, you like One Piece. That means you got good character already. You know, I like your character because you like One Piece. It's a good anime. You know, but moving on. So out of those right there, Sociopath Batman, which one of those that will you watch like at least 12 binge episodes? Because I know you said you'll watch Reincarnated as a Slime, like that's the one that you're thinking about. But I want to know which one when you binge 12 episodes straight, that's on a day that you're just laid out like this.
Well, see, that's a good question. And what I would like to know is, uh, with the reincarnation as a slime, how many seasons do we have on that one?
We
Because it's
have 2 seasons of Reincarnated as a Slime, and it's still ongoing right now. I think it's at 9 or 10 episodes.
and then what about the Moonlight Fantasy
Moonlight's in its first season, and it's
season?
about 10 episodes.
See, for me, if I'm going to be able to get into invest into something, it's got to have the 12 episodes, but it's also, we got to have an extension if I'm going to be able to go past this. So, Moonlight seems like if I'm going to watch it, I'm going to be hitting, a stop sign that's going to, or I should say, not even a stop sign. I should be coming up to a red light that just isn't turning red, going to green for a while.
Hmm.
So at least if I get into the reincarnation as a slime, I will have a little bit more meat to go past if I do get invested into it.
But
So I
would
would
you
say that would be
binge
the
it?
one.
Binge it?
It
Like,
depends on how
let's just
how
say
it's
one
got
day,
into it.
one day you got off work, you were super tired, but you couldn't go to sleep. You know, and you tried to play the video game, and you just couldn't get into the video game. You're like, man, nothing's right today. And now you lay your head down on your bed as you lay back and relax. And you go to your favorite website, whatever website it is, legal or illegal. I don't, yeah. And you lay and you click that first episode. And now you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. I want to watch 11 more episodes. Can you do that?
Yeah, I mean, if it's actually something that can draw, if it can draw me out of falling asleep, because there are only a few shows that I've ever started threw it on in the background to fall asleep, and then 3 hours, 4 hours later, I'm still up because what I'm watching has entertained me.
Hmm.
And
What anime is that?
well, that thing, none of them were animes at the time. They were all
Hmm.
just TV shows that I came on. So for me, if it's an anime that's going to do that, it's
Was
got
it
to
the
be a
last
really good
season of Game
anime.
of Thrones?
No,
Oh
no,
man.
no. I the first time I I remember I was getting ready to go to bed, and when it was right when Duck Dynasty first started,
Mm.
I remember hearing the premise
Walking Dead
when
was
I
up.
remember seeing the commercials for that when they was coming up, and I thought, well, I don't want to watch anything about a bunch of people that make duck calls. I don't give a shit about that. Like, what the heck? But then one night, I'm getting ready to go to bed. There's nothing on. They have a marathon going on, and I'm like, whatever. I'll throw it on. I'll have it fall asleep to it. And next thing I know, I'm laughing my ass off because this is just hilarious. But not just hilarious, but it was pretty wholesome too. I mean, I heard that later on that there was some controversy with certain remarks that that they had made, slurs and whatnot. You
Mm.
know, but
What kind
the
of
show,
controversy and remarks? I'm curious.
apparently there was the whole saying that the father figure Phil had made some racial slurs against black people. I don't know if it was currently or in the past, but uh, it really struck a chord on people, especially when you have a show that based its stuff around never cussing and end every episode with the family getting together and saying prayer and having a dinner together and stuff. It threw off through a um, through a I guess we'd say through a it broke a cog out of the machine and made some certain
Oh,
people
as it should.
draw attention to it in the wrong way.
Yeah,
I watched
as it
it.
should though. But
Yeah.
this is a non-controversial platform, so we gonna end the Duck Dynasty thing here. Just in case some people may get offended on it, and we move this
Uh,
back over to anime.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you have Duck Dynasty, you have The Office, and then you have there was a TV show on like Discovery Channel or National Geographic that was about the Earth. It was One Strange Rock. Things that they can grab my
See,
attention.
if we're gonna talk about anime, right? And
Yeah,
you said that was one strange, and it's talking about Earth. Now,
yeah,
this particular anime, welcome to the stream, by the way, and choose whichever anime you think that's his best ongoing right now. Write it in. We'll get to you. Stuff like that. You're speaking on something with Earth. Now,
yeah.
one anime that already went away already, but it's really good. It's called Doctor Stone.
See, I've heard that one, and I was curious about that. But the weird thing was that for when I first heard of Doctor Stone, what I thought it was, and what I heard it actually is, which I haven't really heard very much about it. But what I thought it was supposed to be something goofy. I thought it was some goofy scientist type thing. Oh, I'm Doctor Stone. I heard it's actually like a pretty badass, like fighting type
I
thing.
mean, all right.
Anime.
So
So
again, it's more. So let's imagine this one. This one is more towards using your mind and science, right?
hmm,
So with that being said, it's about this guy named Senku. What happened? The world was petrified for thousands of years, but in his head, he was literally counting how many years has passed as he was petrified by looking at the stars, basically,
hmm,
like crazy intelligent, right? And the world was sent back to the Stone Age, where huge tigers, lions, savages, and things of that sort started living on the world. So if it was a TV show comparison on this part, we'll think about the 100 a little bit, because all the savages and everything kind of mutated and things. And he he's using everything in his power in his mind to rebuild society as a whole, like from gunpowder, from just glassware, from plastic, all this, and every episode is really good. Like he's always obtaining ingredients every episode, and sometimes he'll surprise you on what he's going to be doing next. So it usually it comes down to that. So Dr. Stone, that's another one that I can recommend it to you. I'm need to make you a list, man.
yeah.
I really do, because I got
I
so many
know.
that I think you'll be interested in.
A lot of the anime that I've put on my list is a lot of the stuff that's a little more familiar name one people have mentioned, and because it's a little easier for me to be like, oh yeah, I've heard of that one and have a general idea already what it is versus
Hmm.
when you say, oh yeah, why don't you check out, Kimitsu no Yaiba, and I'm like, well, what's that? And like, oh yeah, it's Demon Slayer. I'm like, well, why don't you say Demon Slayer
Demon
in the
Slayer.
beginning? Like,
Yeah.
because it's like,
Because you got to
yeah,
remember
someone,
when a lot of us watching the sub, we always see the Japanese name over the English name. But when you're watching in the dub, you see the English name over the Japanese name. But again, my favorite is Moonlit Fantasy. This guy over here, yeah, that guy. Wait, this way, yeah, that guy. He likes One Piece. That's his favorite. I want to know what you guys think is best. Like, come on in the comments. Let us know. Which one do you think best. We can debate it. We can talk about it. But again, Moonlit Fantasy right now for me is the foundation of this season. May not be number one on the charts because a lot of people like different things. But for me, I'm gonna say it one more time. Moonlit Fantasy is for me. All right. Sociopath Man, Batman, you have anything you want to say about it? These newer anime that are coming out?
oh, I've heard a lot of really great anime that are coming out. I know there's a lot of new seasons of animes that are coming out. I know that
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm because I'm catching up on other things right now. I'm in only in season 3 of My Hero Academia. I believe they're starting their season 5, or they're currently in their season 5 right now. Um, so I know that one right now. People either hate it or they like it. I know it's got a curvy curvy
Yeah,
little ride going on. I know that every season that I've watched, I've enjoyed it. It's been I've enjoyed the experience for me. It's one of the very few animes I watched, with the exception to Dragon Ball or One Piece, that has actually made me
I noticed how you left out Dragon Ball Z, but you said Dragon Ball. I caught that. Don't think I didn't.
but
I think the people you've been listening to made you biased, man. You can't be on the bias ship about Dragon Ball Z.
I'm not biased about Dragon Ball Z. It's meant like it's the way that I've there were moments that I've watched in those animes where the you can feel that intense moment, and I felt those in Dragon Ball Z, but I experienced them more to that effect in Dragon Ball, because it was, I think, maybe because of the fact that Goku was younger. You get to so you're growing with Goku.
Yeah.
Uh, so by the time you hit Dragon Ball Z, I'm less, I not gonna say not less amused or surprised by the things that he does, is that I've already seen him do amazing things already, so I'm
Hmm.
already expecting him to do amazing things. Where when I see
Yeah.
currently,
Hey, look, I want to listen to what you're saying, man. I really do. But ah,
well,
why?
I mean
Why are
in
you
this
letting these people
comparison.
mold you versus Dragon Ball Z,
Well,
man?
I mean, in this comparison, in the comparison of this, where you have uh, My Hero Academia, you have Midoriya, who basically, if you watch the show, you know that if he uses his power, he hurts himself.
Hmm.
So, to me, the idea of this character who is slowly growing, it's right now I'm in that effect of, it's more effective for me. It has more of a grasp on me when he, decides to, when, like right now, I just saw him go past 5%, which I
Hmm.
didn't think he was going to do. He went 100, and I was like, oh, I'm sitting there going, oh, snap, getting all crazy, because I was not expecting that. And then when he went, like, I think he went 1 million% next, and I was like, oh, I went crazy again, because I was not expecting it, because I knew that was so,
All
in
right, my question
comparison
is
to,
this: in comparison to Dragon Ball Z, not to cut you off, but I can't let the GOAT show go out like that. You see, Jeremy just came in himself. We're talking about the newer animes that came out. You see what he wrote: Dragon Ball Z and Yu Yu Hakusho all day. So that's somebody who rocks with Dragon Ball Z. Hey, such your Batman tripping. All right, so from the standpoint of what you just said, all right, I want you to look at it in this light. Not to say you're wrong. I just want you to look at it in this light. We seen All Might use the power that he gave Deku. Therefore, the comparison to what All Might could do is the same thing that Deku can do. Deku is just slowly building up to that. But at the end of the day, they're the same power, you know. So in a way, you're like, oh, by the time you're using this power, see, for me, it's like by the time you're using the power that you were gifted, come on, Deku, dang. Like, I know your arm is going, if you're going to break your arm already, then break your arm, Deku. Break it. Like, win against something, you know? And, All Might already explained to him already. The reason why your body is not doing this is because you're not working out hard enough.
Yeah.
And as you see, he's going to school. It showed him working out, but is he working out to the extent that All Might has been working out? Because think about it, the size difference from Deku to All Might, bam. So that difference in itself just means to me Deku's work ethic towards being better is not there. You know, like
No,
this
he's
is this
definitely
is
not.
one of the reasons. This is one of the reasons why My Hero Academia is not high on my list. Now I'll still watch it. I still watch it, but don't compare the Goku to this man like a person building up. I get it though from the standpoint. I'm not saying not to do it.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's more of the aspect of you looking at Goku in Dragon Ball,
Are you
the
reading that?
aspect of All Might just.
I knew it was gonna get you. I knew it was gonna get you,
Well,
man.
the weird thing is, I mean, in ways, I can see that though. I could definitely see the Johnny Bravo in he's got but I think it's just the way I was looking at it is the way right now where I'm at, you're seeing Deku does not is not putting in maybe as much effort as he probably should. Is But at the same time, it's the growth right now that you're seeing with Deku is the same for me as the growth you're seeing in Dragon Ball with Goku. And so, like I said, if All Might is kind of the Dragon Ball Z, you already know that he's got the power. But like I said, it's just the aspect of seeing the growth. It was the growth in Dragon Ball. I did see growth, but it was less of the growth in Goku, as in
What?
when
Are
less
you?
in the growth of, there was less in the growth of Goku that I was focusing on that. But I think it was because they were trying to sell you on the idea of Gohan was supposed to be taking it. So with Goku being dead a lot of the time in it,
Man, he was
Gohan was
dead a
supposed to be
lot.
the focus. Yeah. Gohan was supposed to be the focus. So for me, Goku wasn't the focus as much in Dragon Ball Z as Gohan was supposed to be. Now, let's just say, I mean, Gohan didn't get they didn't give him the recognition because they felt like Goku just I guess
Because everybody
ruled
rocked with
the
Goku. That's
yeah
literally
but
it.
yeah I mean even no matter how many times they tried to take him out, no matter how many times they tried to kill him off and say, oh yeah, I'm not going to come back, the fans wanted Goku. They just don't feel.
Because a counter argument to what you just said, Goku, you saw his progress in Dragon Ball Z as well as you saw Gohan's progress, Krillin's progress, Vegeta's progress. You saw all their progress. To you, you're probably just not looking at it as such. For an example, Goku and Piccolo. When Goku was killed by Piccolo to defeat Raditz, we knew Goku wasn't strong enough to fight these Saiyans that were coming. We knew he wasn't strong enough to go to Namek. We knew he wasn't strong enough to fight Frieza, Cell, none of them. So the training that you saw Goku doing, his first training was what? When he was just running snake way, just getting it, having the stamina and everything to continuously run before his soul fizzled out. Then you saw him working with King Kai, the monkey, and I don't remember if the guy was a wasp or not, so I'm just going to say you
The
saw him working
locust
with that as
or
well.
grasshopper.
Yeah, the grasshopper. You saw him working with that, and you saw at first on his planet, too heavy to move. You seen this, so we're watching Goku train to become something stronger than what he was. So by that time, we go into the Saiyan saga. When Vegeta and Nappa turns up, Goku's actually stronger than he was before because he could actually fight them. You know, now he got crushed and stomped out by Vegeta when Vegeta turned to an ape. But everybody had Game Sharks back in the day, so Vegeta used the code. We'll just go with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I definitely can agree on that. I can definitely say,
We have
um,
a Piss been sending hello there. Can I have a request for Sociopath Batman? Can you show full design T-shirt you wear now with the full screen? Thanks.
let's see, let's see if I can set this up. All right, go right there. And I actually picked it up from Spencer's Gifts. So you can actually, I'm pretty sure you can probably still find these in most any mall or even online at Spencer's Gifts. But yeah, I pick up a lot of my shirts in there, or even tvillain.com has a lot of really cool ones. And I'm trying to remember some other ones, T Public or something. Really cool anime shirts, and they're actually made by people who I believe T Public is actually made by um, uh, like private creators. They're ones that people like you and me who create these designs, and then they offer them up to T Public, and then they create them on the T-shirts, sweatshirts, whatever, and send them out to you. And they're actually pretty decent prices too. I've picked up quite a few during like the holiday season, but yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to pick up any type of anime shirts.
Yeah. So getting to the point, you still see Goku, you know, training throughout it. Like even going to Namek, right? He was training 100 times gravity. We were watching him because we like, man, Gohan got stronger, Krillin is stronger, even Vegeta's stronger, but they cannot fight this Ginyu Force, bro. Who is gonna come and save them from the Ginyu Force? Goku, because he trained. So when I hear that you see the growth of Deku compared to the growth of Goku, nah, I can't hear that because I literally remember every step that Goku took to beat the next big bad, which is the same, program that's used for Deku. For my hero, this is just our cycle of Shonen Jump. It's always train for the next big bad, train for the next big bag, and they all do it. Now, for you, maybe Deku resonated for you. Maybe that was a character that you liked. If you
I think
really,
I
if
think
you
Deku
really,
does have a certain resonation with me. I believe, minus the fact that he's a crybaby bitch a lot. Like way,
how
I
you
will
gonna
not
go
like.
in on Deku
Dude,
like that, man?
dude
Come
is a
on, man.
crybaby bitch. Like
Nah,
I
bro.
like Deku's character for a certain extent, but dude just cries about every freaking thing possible,
Nah, nah,
and it
nah,
just
bro. You can't say Deku is without saying Tokyo Revengers, bro. You can't say that. Hey, look, there's something up there. Deku's up there. Even my favorite anime, Suna. You know what you just said? Even he's up there with that. You know, but Tokyo Revengers, for me, it's the fact that he sits there and he's like, I'm gonna go back to the past and I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna make sure everybody lives. And as he does that, when it's time for him to come up, put his hands up and fight, the next thing you know, what he's doing is this: sniffle, sniffle, and then the camera will be on something bad. But I already told you, like it'll be an amazing scene with just fights and people throwing blows and hitting and moving. And next thing you know, the next scene turns into him crying and him saying something like Bachika. And then it'll go back to an epic fight, and then they'll turn around again. Makikon. And I'm like, bro, come on, bro. You said you wanted to change it. I need for you to get up and go do something, And I understand you're limited on what you're doing, because that's another show we should have been talking about, Tokyo Revengers. Now, don't get me wrong, Tokyo Revengers good. It's good, really good. But sometimes you can dislike the main character because what he doesn't realize is by him sitting there and crying rather than just moving forward by willpower, you're not getting anywhere. Like you're literally saying all this in the moment to make yourself feel better and those around you, but when it's time to do it, you don't show it. So that's literally a fake person in that, to that extent. And again, when I tell you that show is emotional, oh, your emotions, like there's some crazy scenes. You want to see somebody die? You want to see somebody die? Go watch Tokyo Revengers. go go watch Tokyo Revengers, man. It's
Well,
crazy.
I can definitely say I can touch on the topic that much like the creator of My Hero Academia, I resonate a bit with the Deku character. I mean, he created the Deku character kind of basically as a version of himself. He was a
Mm-hmm.
loner. He didn't see himself as a very popular or a very strong person. I'm I'm not a super strong person.
How
I
you know?
don't I know that I'm scrappy, but I have I do have that that fight in me that wants to do good, that wants to see good happen,
Mm-hmm.
and so I resonate with Deku in that fact of he's got that drive that even though he isn't a strong when it starts out
Does he
he's not
got
a strong
drive?
person.
Hold on now. Hold on. If we're talking about Deku from My Hero Academia, are you sure Deku
Well,
has drive?
when he had the drive when he was trying to get the power. I mean, he cleared the entire beach, and even All Might said he didn't expect him, to put in the effort the way he did. So he did put the effort in. I don't think he's putting as much effort in now. I
After
think
he
there's
got
more
it,
to
correct?
go. Yeah,
That's
but
that's
I
some
think it's
like
because of
that's
the
some
fact that now
relationship
it's harder
stuff
for
right there.
him.
That's
I
what some
think
people do in relationships. They get the girl or the girl gets the guy and they get in a relationship and then they just hunker around down.
well, and I do believe a part of it has to do, and this is not even so much of a cop out in his favor as much of it is easy to train your body before you have the power. But once you have that power and you're trying to test, I mean, if you don't know how to use it right, like he doesn't know how to use it, in the very beginning. He's still like right now, still learning the proper ways to put use to it. So when you when you have him who he doesn't know how to use it properly and he's trying to test it out, it is harder to put the same amount of effort in beforehand because now if you try to put that effort in with that power, you're destroying your body. And like you're breaking your arms, you're breaking your legs. So to a certain extent, I can see him not um him not putting in as much effort right away. But yeah, he could be putting the effort because he's gonna need to work that power out. He's gonna have to learn to train it. So when we do later see him get an idea of how to begin to control the power, but like I said, I believe he's still got a long way to go.
All right.
He's still in that growth
So
process.
how do you explain this? I got a real question for you. So it seems like when he got his powers, he forgot that he was a human being. How do you explain him saying, "Oh my God, I can actually use my legs"? How do you explain that one?
We mean when he can use his legs,
Okay,
oh, you
so
mean as in he can use his legs to to
those are
enhance powers, or is
his
that what
legs.
you mean?
His legs are his main power.
His legs. Oh, I always figured it was his whole entire. I thought it was within his body itself, like he can
His
transfer.
body, the contortion, like so. The theory behind it is, just like for any martial arts, if you can contort your body or you can flex certain muscles, they allow you to absorb a blow and allows you to deliver a harder blow. So with him, because he kept messing his hands and his arms up, you saw the scarring.
Yeah.
It was like, oh man, I forgot I can use my legs. And he has like armor plates and stuff like that for his legs now. That's what he used mainly. So
Mm.
to me, from the part I'm on there, it's like, dude, how did you forget you can use your legs? And I feel like even if the dude based that character off himself, I feel like it's based off Suna from Reborn. Because not a lot of people have seen Katakyo Hitman Reborn. I have, of course. Hey, how y'all doing? uh Suna, let's go ahead and dive into that real quick. They used to have a nickname for Suna. He was a loner as well. His name was No Good Suna. He made 15s and 20s on his tests. He was terrible at sports. Nobody really just liked the guy because they didn't really know the guy. He didn't stand out, right? So Little Reborn comes to his door one day. Reborn was in the mafia, supposed to be known as the greatest hitman that ever lived. He comes in, knocks on Suna's door. I'm your new tutor. I'm going to live with you, right? Sona started talking stuff off rip, like how's the little baby going? Right when he said that, Reborn twisted that man's arm, and he was like, "All right, time out, time out." He was doing all that. So Reborn ended up making a bun with Suna. He ended up making a bun with Suna to make Suna always live realistically, as far as some of the thoughts he'll have in his head. He was like, No, you wanted to cop out there instead of going through with it. You got scared. That's your true feelings. So he realized he couldn't lie to Reborn because he thought Reborn was actually reading his mind, if you will. And Reborn started using this shot to the point where Sooner Gray started getting better. Uh, Reborn taught him how to build those people around him, the friends and stuff like that. Taught him a lot, you know. And that progress from Suna, so much better than Deku's progress to me personally. If you were to watch it as well, I believe you'll see the same thing, but there's no way of knowing. But that's what I mean. Like Deku to me isn't really progressing based on the ability that he has. You literally have the strongest person in the world compared to One for All, and you're using it like that. He already told you what you needed to do, but yet you're not doing it. So that's another dynamic from it that kind of sends me away from it. Like from your progress is this, your progress is that. No, it's not. You're barely using what they're teaching you. You're acting like you don't know what's going on when you do. He told you exactly what to do. So why are you doing different things? Why are you still crying over this and that when you have that sort of power? Think about it. If Baku didn't have any power with his attitude, what would he do with All Might's power? He would probably already be ready because it's the effort you put in. This is the reason why a lot of people can't get behind My Hero Academia. It's not because the show sucks, slow pacing. They can't help people because they got to go to school. They can't help people because they need their license. It's not that. It's funny. It's real funny, but it's because the main character they can't get behind due to the fact that the main character doesn't show enough effort.
There's a
Like,
lot of self doubt in Deku. Like there's so many moments where Deku has already shown and proven that he could easily take on a lot of the situations that he's in, and
mhm.
yet he will be into another situation and he'll be like, "Oh my god, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this." No, dude, you can. You've done it before. Don't self doubt yourself
And
because you put yourself in that situation, and then he doesn't. He self doubts himself. He doesn't put the full effort into it, and then he hurts himself more in order to try to do it when he could have just done it correctly the first time and had not hurt himself. So I do agree that there is a lack of progress where it really does need to be. I think for me, I'm drawn in by shiny things. So in those moments that just seem like they're very crazy, very like, oh my god, what I was not expecting to see. I think it's where it grabs my attention. I do believe that there are many flaws in Deku. I'm not I'm not gonna sit there and try to say that he's a perfect person that in any way.
oh, no, no, no.
The
See, you could almost
the
blame the writers.
Yeah,
You could almost
and
blame the writers because all right. So remember what you said. Deku knew not to do some things, right? Remember how they brought Deku on? Like, think about it. Think about how he was brought on into how Deku is now. He was brought on as this smartest, researching. Oh my
yeah,
god, can think 3 steps ahead, and then the next season drop. What is he doing? I don't know what's going. I don't know if I can do. He just gets knocked out, and then he's like, "Well, since I'm knocked out, might as well use more power." Boom, and
yeah.
that's the way I see it because of how they brought it on. I'm not saying My Hero Academia is a bad anime. I'm just saying, please give us some consistent writing for these characters. I understand you want
Well,
to go through Deku's journey,
yeah.
but at the same time, his journey shouldn't be that rough with what he has.
And I do I know that there is a bit of humor in it, but uh, I swear, man, Kachan, man, he's too much. I feel like I get it. They wanted to give him this personality where he's just very intense, but he's
Vegeta?
yeah. Well, he is Vegeta's true son. That is Vegeta's son right there. Trunks, Trunks is adopted. Kachan is Vegeta's real son right there. That
Mhm.
right there, that man has the anger issues of just. I mean, it's funny. I mean, the fact that he is even all his classmates are like, dude, you're freaking nuts. Like we don't know if we want to be around you sometimes. And there's those moments where like right now they said the villains are after Kachan, and every one of the people are like, oh shit, like because they
Oh,
know
bro.
Kachan's gonna start shit right now. They're like, oh. He's gonna go headlong into the headstrong into the fight. He's
That's
not gonna
literally what
avoid
he
it.
did. That is literally what
Yeah.
he did.
So he's so intense, and I feel like they need to drop the intensity down just a bit because it just takes away from that character maybe a little bit. I feel like he's a
Nah,
good character, but his
what
intensity is
they're
just too
doing,
much
bro, they're
sometimes.
taking the same thing from Dragon Ball Z and they're trying to copy it to different anime. That's
I think what it is it takes away from Deku because Deku focuses too much on Kachan sometimes. And I
No,
think
no, no. Hey, listen what you just said. Let me let you in on something. The reason why Kachan is always mad is because he focuses so much on Deku. You
yeah,
remember because they were best friends when they were younger, you know, and he saw it, so he thought, Kachan got the big head. He was just like, oh, I'm the stuff, and now out of the blue, Deku has powers. You remember what Kachan told Deku when they were little? I'm going to protect you. But
yeah.
now, wait, what are you doing here? So you've been lying to me this whole time that you didn't have powers. Remember? Now I'm a little further where a lot of other stuff happened
Yeah.
in there, but that's the gist. This is why he's so upset because this person. Imagine you saw somebody lying to you every single day of their lives, and they were like either your best friend or the girl that you wanted to be with, and she said she wasn't ready for a relationship because she's working on herself. Now you already know that means she's about to be with somebody else, but it's kind of like that. So I
Well,
kind of excuse Kachan a lot of times because of that.
at, at the same time, I'm gonna be real with you. If it was me in that situation, Kachan could fuck off, honestly, because this is the situation. Because Deku has remained loyal to Kachan for the most part through this entire time. He's tried to be Kachan's friend.
Mm,
Kachan was a fucking asshole to Deku even as a kid. Once he got his powers, he became even more of an asshole.
hmm.
So to me, at this
That's the
point,
dynamic.
yeah, at this point, whether I had powers or not, the way you treated me, I don't give a shit whether or not you knew I had powers or not. It's not your, business anymore because you didn't want to be friends with me. You had a chance to be friends with me, and maybe I would have shared that, information with you. But because Kachan didn't ever want to be friendly with him because he wanted to treat Deku like shit, I don't feel bad in that situation. To me, if it was me, I would have just said, hey, you know what? Deal with it. Like
Yeah, I understand.
I do feel like Deku. I felt the fact that Deku is still too focused on trying to be Kachan's friend at this, and because Kachan focuses so much on him,
Well, you got to
it
go
doesn't
to
really
the
make any
point where
sense.
Deku. You got to go to the point where Deku's really he understands why though. He
Yeah,
understands why. It's not the point where they were growing up and he was just being an a hole towards them. Stuff like that was the dynamic that they reached because of the people who got powers and the people who didn't get powers. And he always still told them he was going to protect them. He'll look down on them. But you know how some friends have that dynamic when you're just talking stuff to them like that, but they realize, oh wait, that's just how my friend is, and they just, they'll just let that ride. I feel
yeah,
like that's what Deku is doing. But see, we're getting caught up on My Hero Academia,
yeah,
but we got so many other great ones to go. But
yeah,
it's a great discussion though.
yeah.
Like I wish the people who are in here would chime in and think what they think about it if they watched it. It'd be cool. Hey,
Well, I have to say, I have those moments in My Hero Academia. I had those moments in Dragon Ball. There were even a few moments, But see, the thing is, in Dragon Ball Z, I think I was the more the oh crap moments were from some of the side characters because you get to see some of the side characters evolve, like when Piccolo, certain things with when Piccolo.
yeah.
I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh shit,
You
things
talking
with
about Frieza
Vegeta.
Saga?
Oh shit, things
Are you
with
talking about
yeah,
Frieza Saga? Because that Piccolo
uh,
situation with Frieza Saga when he was all gold, bro, that was pretty freaking epic to me.
yeah.
It was,
There were moments, where I feel like Dragon Ball Z, in many ways, it had epic moments, but it was like I said, I wasn't so much focused on Goku because we've seen a lot of the evolution of Goku. We kind of already know that we're gonna get that from Goku, but we don't expect it so much from the
from
side
where? When
characters.
though? Like when you say that, I want to know from where. Are you saying from Dragon Ball, or are you saying
But
from
just from
Dragon
the
Ball Z?
entirety of it, because we've already seen Goku evolve, a great amount in Dragon Ball. So then once Dragon Ball Z hit, we already are to expect that he's going to get stronger.
But how though? But see, that's what the thing. How will he get stronger? Because when Dragon Ball Z started out, it's his heritage. He just learns about him being a Saiyan. Because remember, Dragon Ball, he knew nothing about being a Saiyan. He just knew he was different. So when you go to Dragon Ball Z, it lays out you're a Saiyan, Kakarot. You know, Vegeta busting coming down like that. You should join us and destroy this puny planet. You know, just talking how Vegeta be talking and stuff, right? And it puts in my head, you know, whoa. So he's an alien. He's one of these planet busters, like the rest of these people. What else do they do? Like, what's his origin? Like, what planet did they come from? Type of deal, you know. Then you move on to the Namek saga, and boom, it's like, what's Vegeta talking about? He's talking about a Super Saiyan. He just became a super, huh? What's a Super Saiyan? We never seen that before. So let's figure this out. Uh, Goku goes out there, gets beat down by Frieza, literally that mass hands to the head, just going with it. And next thing you know, he's spirit bombing. You know, Goku. Share your energy with me, everybody. Everybody on this stream, share me your energy. I need to throw a spirit bomb real quick. Yeah, you know, we needed it. And because of that, I personally wanted to know what the heck was a Super Saiyan. And as we continue going, Krillin ends up turning to popcorn, you know, like snap crackle pop, Krillin bye. And now Goku's just and we see his hair flash gold, doom. You know what I'm saying? Doom. Like what's happening? Man, he just turned to Super Saiyan. Now, what can that do? What is Goku now stronger than Frieza? Yada yada. So for me, what you're saying, I can understand what you're saying about, you know, My Hero Academia. But for me, Dragon Ball Z and seeing what the his heritage, his what he transformed into, how further he can go with that, where else the story's going to go, and stuff like that. That was a lot of thinking for me. So,
I think I do believe for me, maybe it's because of the the era I came into it. Like for you, you were watching it basically as it aired. So for you, it was there was no idea of where Goku was going to go. It was you're watching Goku evolve as it happens. For me, I already had a sense before I went to Dragon Ball Z. I already knew about the Super Saiyan thing, so I already had a premise in my mind. I think maybe that's what it is. Is that I
yeah,
already had the
that
idea
makes a
that
lot
I
of sense
knew
now.
that Goku was going to go to a certain thing. So it wasn't as epic for me in those moments because I was like, it was epic, but it wasn't like, oh shit, as much because I expected that oh yeah, I know that was gonna happen at some point. And the way it happened was really cool, but it wasn't as surprising to me as it was when you see some of the secondary characters who get a little bit of their shine in the moments of, and you see them and you're like, oh shit, there was those moments where I think grabbed me more than Goku because I already had a sense of I already knew that Goku was going to, but I didn't know so much about the rest of the characters and their evolution and where they were going to go for. So I think that might be where it is. It's just from where I came in. I think that's why for me I don't have much of the information of what's ahead in My Hero Academia. So I'm watching My Hero Academia. You know, for me, it's almost as I'm watching it as a episode to episode basis because I don't have the information of what's ahead. I don't know
Mm,
what's ahead for Deku or for any of the characters. You know, in my Hero Academia. While Dragon Ball Z, even though I haven't completely finished it off, I'm aware. Even going into Super, what to be expected. So it's like it's not it doesn't grasp me as much
so
right
what you're
now.
saying, you robbed yourself of no,
I did rob
you robbed
myself. I
yourself.
think back in the day,
Yeah,
that's where
because I'm
a
not gonna
lot
say
of it comes
Super is
from.
good, but I'm just saying
Yeah,
some of the things that will surprise you. Like seeing it for the first time is always better than hearing
yeah.
about it. Yeah, so that can explain why you feel that way. Because to
I
me,
think that's where it comes
like when
from.
I'm watching the anime, bro, I'm always thinking. And when I seen the dip in My Hero Academia, bro, like the dip of Deku's character, because Deku character wasn't that scared guy crybaby. Remember, Kachan was in trouble, right? This is how All Might put his stock in Deku because he didn't just sit there and cry at that time, man.
when
You know
all
what he did?
the
He went
heroes were
all the
like, "I
way.
can't do anything. This is out of
Yeah.
my hand." And
And he
Deku's
what he
like, "Well,
do?
I don't
He
got
went
any
in there
powers."
head
So
first, baby. He ran up in that thing and he tried to save his boy. Now it's not like that.
even
It
though he
has
was
to.
an asshole to
Yeah,
him.
yeah. Like I mean, again, I can't really say that. It looks like it, but it's the dynamic of them two. You
He
know what I'm
threw
saying?
his book in the fire.
I know,
That's an
but
asshole move.
listen, when you know somebody, look, this is why I like to preach a lot. When you know someone and you know how someone is, for them to act how they are, and you get upset about them, you're not being a good friend yourself. That's what I'm saying. So for Deku on the other end knows how Kachan is. If he was like, "F you, you're a butthole,"
But
he
he's
was
a way
like,
better man than I am, because I mean, I probably said, you know what, Kachan, sucks to be you.
but I rock with Deku when he did that.
Yeah,
First
and
season,
it was a
first
good
season of
moment.
My
It was
Hero was
a
slow though.
very great moment.
First season of My Hero was slow. The last two episodes, everybody was happy about it. I was not because I was robbed. You had me watching this for this long just to give me something at the end of the show. No. But season two came out. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my, this is amazing. Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball Z. Oh my God, the tournament style. I was happy because they finally gave me everything that I wanted to get. Season two went on greatly. Then season three hit and it was like, meow. And then season four came. Right back down. It's like, man, can we get something consistent from these writers, bro? Speaking of One Piece, since One Piece one of the newer shows, a lot of people came in. They were saying mostly about One Piece and Dragon Ball Z. So let's talk about One Piece because our topic is supposed to be the newer animes, but you know what we are. We go all over the world with Dragon Ball Z, and we go over here with My Hero, even though My Hero is ongoing, but still. Here's the thing. One Piece. The one thing I do like about that show that's still ongoing, it's the fact that it has so many episodes first. The next part is how many characters are unique. Now, I said this in the last video, but let me explain to you, man. For an example, it sounds like Zoro was your favorite character. He's also mine. But I don't like Zoro because he does the three-star sword style. I like when he gets serious and use the one sword style. That one right there, Zoro is a beast. When that eye flashes, Zoro's a beast. But
Yeah,
I
I
feel
know.
I
Right
feel
now,
I
I'm still at the
can't pick
point.
One Piece. I can't pick One Piece for being the best from the ongoing shows because it's been ongoing for so long, and because it was so great in itself, you know, just being one of the goats of anime. It wouldn't be fair for me to say it. Now for you because you're currently watching it and you haven't seen all the other epic stuff going in, and you're liking it from like its origins. 200 episodes out of 1,000 or something. That's its origins. You already know. So I can understand why you choose it. Let's see. We got a comment real quick. I enjoyed Jujutsu Kaisen. It just went too fast at the beginning. Well, see, Jeremy, you're a younger guy in your 20s, from your face anyway. You 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 probably watch older anime. You probably were brought up on older anime. So the fast-paced animes that we see today, they're probably not going to resonate with you as much. Moonlit Fantasy to me is a fast anime. It's pacing pretty fast. Dude, the protagonist is overpowered, you know, because these are the newer animes nowadays. Overpowered protagonists, crazy different world they were sent to, and now you're dropped into this world. Now survive. I can rock with it because I came from the slower anime. But these fast pacings, they're good too. Now, uh, Jeremy, since you wrote a comment in the chat, I want to ask you really quick because I know you said Jujutsu Kaisen. Uh, I want to know which one of these anime that I'm going to list do you think is the best in this current ongoing situation? The first one name is Moonlit Fantasy. I'm not sure if you've seen that one. The next one is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. The next one is 5 Second Battle. The next one is the OG to GOAT, One Piece. And the last one is How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom, or My Hero Academia. Any one of those. If you've seen them, I want to know your answer. Which one do you think out of those is the best one?
And if anybody out there who is watching this or watches later on has seen Odd Taxi, please let me know if it's any good because it seems like it's interesting enough. And but if I haven't gotten into it yet and you have, let me know,
Oh
and
yeah,
it will help me get to it sooner if it is something to look into.
I'm curious too.
Because it sounded the premise seemed interesting enough. I mean, I'm like, oh, I'm down for that.
Looks like Jeremy made his answer. And survey says while sociopath Batman is laughing over there, ha 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 ha, evil laughter. It's One Piece. Easily, he says. Hold on. He didn't just say One Piece. Jeremy said easily. Easily. Now, again, I'm gonna have to ask you to come in again. Why is it easily the best? Like you can't just drop something like that and then say easily it's the best. What's the reason you are enjoying One Piece as sociopath Batman and me discuss some other things on here? While you we'll be waiting on your comment to come in if you feel free to share, you know. So the one I was telling you about the other day, sociopath Batman, I was telling you about Moonlit Fantasy. I know I was telling you about as I was reincarnated as a slime. Now, reincarnated as a slime has a slower pace. First couple episodes, I kind of said that earlier, but I wanted to reiterate. So once you get started into it, I want you to know that it's going to take a little bit to build up. But world building, conversation, intellectual story altogether built. It won't leave you with any wild, crazy questions like, bro, how's this happening? Where this is? Are there other people in the world that been has been reincarnated to this world as well? You won't have any of them questions because they're all gonna be answered for you. Now, Moonlit Fantasy. If you just want to watch something that's funny, straight to the point, fights, some running Japanese jokes, some running jokes in general. Moonlit Fantasy, easily consumable. If someone says they don't like that one, look, they just don't like OP protagonists. That's what I'm gonna say. All right, looks like Jeremy. The slow development of the protagonist and his obvious weaknesses. Now, in fairness, I haven't seen all of those that you listed. I understand. It's just like a sociopath Batman in the same situation. If you haven't seen all of them, but you've seen the one that you saw and you like it, I'm cool with that. That's an answer. Luffy had physical and emotional weaknesses. That's true. But I also don't want you to spoil anything because, a lot of people watching or people who are going to watch this later or sociopath Batman, they probably haven't gotten that far to the emotional weaknesses, man. That broke me down. Whew, you know it might happen, but you don't know the effects it'll have on you, on how it happened. Oh my God. Whew. Hold on, man. It almost got heavy in here because of that. Go ahead, Socio Batman.
I'm very aware that I'm probably within 40 episodes of the dreaded episodes. So we're
Oh
yeah.
man.
So,
Oh look. Oh man.
you know. It's like without having to give away the spoilers, I'm definitely gonna have to make sure the tissue box is nearby because I know it's gonna hit me hard.
So yeah, it looks like we've been going for an hour and 20 minutes. I feel like that's a good time, unless you had some more stuff to say, sociopath Batman.
No, but it feels like we covered the topic pretty well.
Hmm. I feel like we covered it and went on some tangents, which is good. But also, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This has been another podcast or blog, whatever you want to call it, from Big Smooth TV and Sociopath Batman. In closing, because we're never supposed to say that, you get what I'm saying. People who are in school. Uh, Again, Moonlit Fantasy was my favorite. It's because the characters overpowered. Different situations placed in, is always coming out on top, but he's also trying to build in the world. And his goal is to get back at the goddess. So, with that being said, I'm gonna leave the floor to sociopath Batman so he can close out.
Well, with me, It's obviously going to be One Piece because One Piece is the one that I have seen and is the one that I've invested the most amount of time in right now. Uh, Character development, story, it's all there, and it's got so many episodes. So it's not like you're going to just finish it off. You have something that you can invest time into, and you could take your time with it. It's not going to be going anywhere right now. If you take your time with it, you've got well over 900 something episodes as is. I'm sure he's probably got another 150 more to go, if for him, if not more. So you have time with it. Uh, but any of these other animes that were mentioned, go ahead and check them out. I'm almost positive if he's vouching for them, they're definitely got to be worth checking out. Make sure that you like, hit the subscribe button, and share these videos so that way everyone can see us, watch us, and comment on our videos. Give us feedback. Let us know exactly what it is that you would like to see us talk about. What is it that animes that you'd like us to watch, or animes that you just think we should talk about because they're just not good. But thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you again. Good night.